moving the projection, and it's actually distorting it. If I actually move it out, so get the move tool, and I'm going to drag on the red handle, I'm moving the entire envelope out. Remember before, when I dragged on the red handle, it actually just moved it around, but when you're in axis mode, you're moving the entire envelope over. And then if you're going to get the scale tool, you're actually squashing it. So, if you had a shampoo bottle or a curved surface, you can get your projection like that, and then, you can sort of wrap it around the corner, the sharp corner there like that, move the offset there. So it's sort of a better example of the difference between being in axis mode and not being in axis mode. And when you're doing flat mapping, pretty much all the time you're in axis mode, but in cylindrical mode, if you want to do it interactively, you would generally be out of that. Okay, so hopefully I haven't lost anyone. So a lot of the time I'll actually do it numerically. Okay, so I'm not having to muck around with being in axis mode, not being in axis mode. So I'll just sort of undo, get it back, or I can do tags, fit to object, and get it back there, and then I can start again. So I'll go out of axis mode, so I'm just in texture mode. Okay, so I'll just drag on the red handle there just to scale it down. The Y, just make it there. Move tool, drag on the red handle there. Down a bit, might make it a little bit smaller. Scale tool. Y, move there like that. And you can also pop over here. Again, you don't actually you can do it numerically over here without being in texture mode. So I can go back into model mode and still play around with it. It's just if you want to do it interactively, you've got to enable that, and then you can do it in the viewport. All right, so let's do another example. Okay, so let's do another example. So I'll just delete that logo. Okay, get rid of it. Back into model tool mode, and I want to get rid of the unused material. So function, and you can't see this, I'm just coming down and going remove unused materials, and that just deletes all of the unused materials. So let's apply some text onto the cylinder. So double click, create a new material. I need to unlock my attributes manager, click back on the material to bring up the settings, click on the square there, and what should we do? We'll use the endurance text again. Double click. No, we don't want to copy. Now this has an alpha channel, so enable an alpha channel. Click on alpha, click on the button, bitmaps, there it is there. I'll change my text preview size so it's easier to see, and then apply it. Okay, so I changed my projection to cylindrical. Again, it's too big. Let's go into texture mode, tags, fit to object. Okay, so the texture, the material, is being scaled to fit the cylinder, and I think the aspect ratio is all wrong. So we could do it all manually, either interactively or with the settings over here. Let's see if we can do it a little bit more scientifically. Now I don't know what I'm about to explain is actually correct. If I'm wrong, could somebody please explain to me a better way of doing it? Okay, so I'm sort of guessing here, or sort of doing it how I would do it. I want to make the text smaller and try and keep the aspect ratio from the original image. So what I would do, I can't come up and go fit to image because it's grayed out. So to be able to do that, I'm going to change my projection back to flat, then do it, tags, fit to image, okay, double click, and you can see the little sort of bit hard to see. I'll zoom in. You know, you can see there the aspect ratio is right. I'll turn off tiling. I only want it once. I don't want it multiple times. Okay, so I've got my aspect ratio correct. If it was very small, you could actually use flat projection, but if you're sort of wrapping around, as you come around the sides, around the side, the text will be stretched out, and that's not what we want. So what I'm going to do is change back to cylindrical, okay, and it sort of wrapped it 360 degrees around the cylinder. So to fix that, what I'm going to do down here in the tiles U field is type in pi, you know, the mathematical function pi, and you can do maths and do put in formulas into the fields in Cinema 4D. So pi and enter, and then I'll just move my offset around. Now, to me, that looks correct. Now, as I say, if I'm wrong, please tell me. Please explain to me a better way of doing it. Now, so I can move it up and down, and you see when you go up the top there, you sort of, whoops, I'll just undo that. I did the wrong one. Offset, you know, when you get up to the top, it's sort of on the top there, you get that. So that's not what we want. So I'm just going to move it down. I want to make it smaller. So to do that and to maintain your aspect ratio, you need to do some maths in both of these fields. So you can see there we've got a ratio between tiles U and tiles V. We need to maintain that ratio. Okay, so let's just sort of, in here, I'll go divided by 2 and press enter. That makes it bigger. So on this one, to make it match, I need to go divided by 2, enter. Okay, so I'm maintaining that ratio between them. Let's go the other way. So undo, get it back there. So this time I'll go times 2, enter, times 2, enter. Okay, and again, I could actually be doing it in model mode. I don't need to have, you know, be in texture mode. I can just do it without, and spin it around. So that's how I would do it. My apologies if I've lost any beginners there with that, but I thought that was, you know, I should sort of go through and sort of show you how I do it, and generally it seems to work. As I say, if you know a better way of doing it and getting it correct with the correct aspect ratio, please tell me. Okay, so let's do another example. Okay, so let's do an example where I've got a curved surface. So I've just modeled this, nothing extravagant, and I'm going to apply just a plain red material. Okay, and then I'm going to apply a sticker onto it. If the sticker was very small, I could get away with using a flat projection, but the sticker's a reasonable size, so I don't want it distorting too much. So I'm going to use cylindrical projection. So let's double click, create a new material, and click, and this panel one here, click open. No, we don't want to create a copy. It has an alpha channel. Okay, on the alpha channel, just click that and load it in to file with a built-in alpha there, like that. I won't worry about changing the preview. I will change the texture preview size so it's sharper in the viewport, and drag and drop it onto the surface there like that. I'll change my projection to cylindrical, and let's sort of go into texture mode and axis mode. Okay, so there, in there. So I do need to be in axis mode because I need to